Smell that chili.
Is it almost done?
I think so.
Oh, I'm so hungry. I can't wait to eat.
Well, each other. Thanks, Ruby. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it looks pretty hot.
Oh, it's too hot to eat.
We dig
what
each
a
other.
mess.
Thanks, Ruby.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, boys and girls, here we are for another exciting episode of Spilly Chile's Bowl of Rocks, and we're going to have a little extra schmaltz on the chili tonight because we have some incredible Jewish stuff for you. Not only do we have some originals, but we also have some classic Jewish hits brought to you by the incredible talent of Mr. Mark Levy.
I spent a lot of time in New York, and I've been living in Santa Cruz for about 40 years now, but New York has a population of homeless that's about the entire population of Santa Cruz. But here in Santa Cruz, we have a sizable homeless population, too. I wrote this song about 20 years ago. You'll notice it references a TV show, Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous, but this is called Lifestyles of the Poor and Nameless. Well, now you heard about Dallas and Fantasy Isle, American Dream, affluent style. But Robin Leach might be surprised at what I see before my eyes. I'm watching lifestyles of the poor and nameless, sleeping on a city street. Lifestyles of the poor and nameless, begging for a bite to eat. Lifestyles of the poor and nameless, seldom seen on your TV. Lifestyles of the poor and nameless, coming soon to you and me. Spare some change, I need a bite. To survive's an awful fight. Spend my time collecting cans while you're out working on your tans, on lifestyles of the poor and nameless, sleeping on a city street. Lifestyles of the poor and nameless, begging for a bite to eat. Lifestyles of the poor and nameless, seldom seen on your TV. Lifestyles of the poor and nameless, coming soon to you and me. City, there's always room for the ethnic population boom. The melting pot boils past the brim while the people's future's looking grim, on lifestyles of the poor and nameless, sleeping on a city street. Lifestyles of the poor and nameless, begging for a bite to eat. Lifestyles of the poor and nameless, seldom seen on your TV. Lifestyles of the poor and nameless, coming soon to you and me. Lifestyles of the poor and nameless. Lifestyles of the poor and nameless. Lifestyles of the poor and nameless, coming soon. is a song in Yiddish. Yiddish is an Eastern European Jewish language. It came over with the immigrants, including my grandparents, and I was raised by my grandparents, and I was raised in their home. So I got lucky, you know. I learned a little bit of, actually, they spoke English so that I wouldn't understand. It's funny if you hear their English, but anyway, it's a song that describes the old weddings in the mostly southern part of Eastern Europe. And, well, I'll translate it as we go along here. Als ihr so klezmer spielt auf a Simcha, tanzt de Chevre wie a Chvalje in Jam. Me huljet, me springt, me tanzt, me singt. Ai di di dai di di dai da ma. Yubba bye, bye. Here ai dai dai di 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 dum. As Yussel the fiddler plays, everyone dances like waves on the ocean. Spielt mit sein Fiddle in Rädel und hüpft dem Marschelig zum Kram. Und als Jussel nimmt sich zu sein Fiddle, tanzen euch die Chvalje säufen Jam. Als Jussel Klezmer spielt auf a Simcha, tanzt der Chevre wie a Chvalje in Jam. Me huljet, me springt und me tanzt und me singt. Ai di di dai di di dai dam ai yubba bye bye. Now, a klezmer is a musician, so he's playing his fiddle in a circle, and he's helping the master of ceremonies to make rhymes in that last verse. Sein Schute pfeift auf dem Pfeifel, und Berl klingt der Struna auf den Bass. Und als Jussel nimmt sich zu sein Fiedel, tanzen Leute Schwellen auf dem Gas. Als Jussel klezmer spielt auf a Simcha, tanzt der Chevre wie a Chvalje in Jam. Me huljet, me springt und me tanzt und me singt. Ai di di dai dam. Ai yubba bye bye. Rai dai di di dum. And that last verse was, he's got a flute player and a bass player, and they all play together, and even the porches are dancing along on the streets. Bobbe zei de kei in de bruige staan, schoos en kale plesken mit der Hand. Und als Jussel nimmt sich zu sein Fiedel, tanzen auf die Schutten auf die Wand. Als Jussel Klezmer spielt auf a Simcha, tanzt der Chevre wie a Chvalje in Jam. Me huljet, me springt und me tanzt und me singt. Ai di di dai dam ha, yubba bye bye. So they dance, a special dance, a Breigestanz, a mock-angry dance. It's the mothers-in-law dancing, and that's what that verse was about. They hope to get that animosity out by the end of the song and the ritual dance. Good luck. Maybe it worked somewhere, I don't know. Yubba bye bye. Rai dai di di da.
Well, hey, boys and girls, here I am with Mark Levy, the incredible musician with all kinds of Jewish little treats for you tonight. Mark, what prompts you to do this kind of music?
Well, if you mean the satirical stuff and the political stuff, they give me a lot of material. You know, I mean, I don't have to really think too hard. I just read the paper, and you come up. I mean, like I said, a lot of the stuff is, about presidents who aren't president anymore. But unfortunately, some of my songs are about nuclear power and homelessness and other issues that, unfortunately, are still relevant. So
Indeed, and quite relevant. And so you try to take a little bit of a comical look at these serious issues. You find that mixing comedy with catastrophe a good thing? A spoonful of humor helps the message go down. I don't often paraphrase Mary Poppins, but in that case, you can't hit people over the head. I learned that the hard way, You get too heavy-handed with it, and I do have some hard-hitting songs as well. People aren't going to hear it. You hit them over the head, they're going to go back to sleep. You knock them out. Oh, that's a fact. You got to watch it. So these are all originals then, I take it?
Well, the three I did that were in English are original. And then the Jewish stuff I was blessed to have inherited from my family. You know, the Yiddish and Ladino songs that I've been singing for a number of years now, the folk songs from the Jewish tradition. And I'm sort of feeling obligated to pass those on to future generations. So I teach classes through the folk club, actually, San Francisco Folk Music Club, which I'm proudly displaying here. Up in Berkeley and San Francisco and anywhere people want to get together. I did a couple classes in Santa Cruz on singing Ladino songs and singing Yiddish songs. And you get people. People are interested in carrying on those traditions.
Oh, it's amazing, and I'm so glad you're doing it. It's a real treat for us to be able to take that to our fabulous viewers. Well, Mark, you mentioned this folk group that you have. You got something coming up with that, don't you?
Well, yeah, actually, we do have several campouts, folk campouts, and one of them is still in Santa Cruz County. Actually, several of them, I should say. There's Memorial Day weekend, there's 4th of July weekend, Labor Day weekend, and that what we call Solstonicamus Camp, which is supposed to be all the holidays in December. Solstonicamus, I keep telling them you got to add Kwanzaa, so it should be Solstonicamus Za.
Indeed.
And that one's way up in Sonoma at Camp Newman. But the Memorial Day camp, which is coming up pretty quick, check it out. I mean, we have 3 campfires going. We got all kinds of folk music, traditional. We have 60s folk. We have Irish, Jewish song here and there, original stuff. And it's coming up Memorial Day weekend. If you want to know more about it, check into the website of the folk club. San Francisco Folk Music Club is sffmc.org.
Very cool, very cool. So you travel a lot and get out and play. What do you have coming up for gigs?
I've got, it's just like any art, it comes and goes. It's kind of sometimes good, sometimes not so good. But I do travel. I go back east. I've gone to the Northwest. I've been all over the country. I've actually driven across the country 30 times. And nowadays I'm flying because I end somewhere and I only got one day and I can't drive in a day, so I fly. And I go back to the East Coast quite a bit, to New York, and there's a lot of people interested in the Jewish music back there. As far as like locally, not a whole lot. Not doing. I don't really do a whole lot in this particular area, but farther up the peninsula and the city and the North Bay, and I do some cantorial soloist work. So I'm at some synagogues and temples, not too far, but not in Santa Cruz.
Well, how can people get a hold of you to book you for some gigs here in Santa Cruz?
I'm glad you asked that, Sandy. I have a website which is not updated because I'm a 19th century kind of guy, but it's www.marklevymusic.com, and I has my email on there and my current phone number and all that. I'm not on Facebook, folks. I prefer FaceTime. And I don't tweet, but you can get the information. Should I give my phone number? I mean, are we going to do that, or
It's up to you.
Does it matter? Yeah, well, it's public knowledge anyway. The FBI has it. Anyway,
they're watching our show. That's a given, man. They know my name.
I'm sure they are. Okay, so the number is 831-338-7283. And if you got something you think might go over, I have guitar. We'll travel.
Perfect. Well, Mark, let's get back to this music, shall we? And what do you got coming up? This is a traditional Jewish song.
No, I've got some original stuff and some traditional Jewish music that I'm going to do for you.
Perfect. Well, let's get right back to the music then. Here he is, Mark Levy. Thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you. And now this was a song from the other heritage, the other side of my family. My mother's family came originally from Eastern Europe, but my father's family didn't. They came from Spain. They didn't just come. They were expelled from Spain in a very famous year, 1492. We can edit that later. 1492. Of course, that's a great, can we take that again?
Yes, we can.
Good. All right.
We were just heading down the wrong road.
Are we ready?
Do it.
Now this song is in Ladino. The last one was in Yiddish, the Eastern European language. Ladino is the language of the Spanish Jews who were expelled in 1492. My father's family among them. And they preserved their language in exile, which is called Ladino or Judeo-Espanol. It picked up, besides Spanish, it always had some Hebrew, and then there's a few Greek words, a few Turkish words. The word bilbil or bibilikos is little nightingales in Turkish, and this is a song about the little nightingales singing in the trees of the forest, while beneath them are those who suffer from love. And we know it's a Sephardic song because there's love and suffering involved. So, Los bilbilicos cantan en el árbol de la flor. Los bilbilicos cantan en el árbol de la flor. Y debajo se asentan los que sufren del amor. Debajo se asentan los que sufren del amor. Más presto ven paloma, más presto ven a mí, más presto ven paloma, más presto ven a mí, más presto tú mi alma, corre y sálvame. Más presto tú mi alma, corre y sálvame. La rosa enflorece hoy en el mes del May. La rosa enflorece hoy en el mes del May. Mi alma se oscurece, está en tu poder. Mi alma se oscurece, está en tu poder. I actually wrote this song right after 3 Mile Island, and you know, as a topical songwriter, a lot of the songs I write go out of date, and I wish this one would. But I wrote it from the perspective of a nuclear plant worker who starts to have second thoughts about working in that technology. And since the issue has come up full tilt again with Fukushima, and now they're talking about opening up a couple of plants in Georgia, I figured I'd pull this one out of the proverbial dust. Called Leaking Like a Sieve. Now you say this big reactor's gonna keep me from the cold. You say that my job here is guaranteed. Oh, but I ain't so sure anymore. I believe all that I'm told about this way to get the energy we need. Now you say this radiation is as safe as mother's milk. You say that no one here was ever harmed, but an accident could wipe out even you and all your ilk. I've got more of a just cause greater than my right to live? Are your scales of justice leaking like a sieve? Now they say this plant is only good for 30 or 40 years. If we make it through the trials and mistakes of its fallible technicians and amoral engineers, gambling with our future at such stakes. Did they sell their only soul for a precious lump of coal? Did they trade their conscience in on uranium? Is their right to make a living greater than our right to live? Are the scales of justice leaking like a sieve? Now I vote, pay my taxes, and I own some property within the 5-mile limit of your plant. Would you take away my hard-earned right to life and liberty while you tell me just stand by? Well, I just can't. I won't sell my only soul for your precious lump of coal. I won't trade my conscience in on uranium. No one's right to make a profit is greater than my right to live. Are your scales of justice leaking like a sieve? No one's right to make a living is greater than our right to live. Are your scales of justice leaking like a sieve? Tell me, are your scales of justice leaking like a sieve? Leaking like a sieve. Well, this is the song that gets most often requested of my own that I've written. Wrote it about close to 30 years ago now, about the Middle East. It's a true story. The Egyptian border guard were forced to retreat a temporary border and redraw it 100 yards farther south because the Israelis were bathing nude on a sun-filled beach there in Taba, in the Gulf of Aqaba, which had been captured by Israel in the '67 war. And because of the nudity, I mean, they took off their clothes. The Israelis gained 100 yards of territory, which I felt was vastly preferable to, for instance, use of deadly force. Not only that, but some football teams might want to take note, because 100 yards is a significant gain in that sport, and it would only change the nature of the game slightly. So this is a peace proposal to the rest of the world to follow suit, or unsuit. And maybe if we took off our clothes, we'd get what we want without firing a shot. Now the Israelis have a nudist camp on Taba, right by Egypt on the Gulf of Aqaba. Bathers sunning on the beach were dangerously within reach of Muslim guards patrolling near the spa. Now it says to cover up in the Koran, but those Hebrews hung it out to get a tan. So for fear of getting heated, the Egyptians just retreated, which provoked this novel thought for a peace plan. Take off your clothes to those you oppose. well exposed to your foes and strike a pose.
Well, didn't I tell you that was unique and unusual, but completely fun? And I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did here at the studio, because we were laughing pretty hard and having a great time. And, you know, you people at home are the greatest, and I just want to thank you for watching the show tonight. I need to thank Community TV, for which none of this would be possible if we didn't have this great resource here. Support Community TV in any way you can. Give some money, come out, say hi. You know, Chili heads out there, you're the greatest fans that anybody could ever ask for, and I love you all, each and individually. Oh, man, you're all amazing. And my crew, God bless my crew. Dave Goldman directed tonight. John Maurer did camera. Bobby Ackerley did camera. Becky Armour did camera. Sandy did the sound and lights. And, oh, gosh, and Community TV and the fans. Thank you all. God bless you all. Good night. Do you want to have dancing bones too? Well, it's very simple. Just visit the McClellan Wellness Center on Seabright Avenue in Santa Cruz. Give him a chance and he'll make your bones dance the night away. McClellan Wellness Center.
Mountain Mike's Pizza, where the freshest ingredients and delicious toppings equal great pizza. With a full salad bar, a buffet table, and a fun, family-friendly atmosphere. We got game rooms for the kids, 3 big screen TVs. Mountain Mike's Pizza, located at 3715 Portola Drive.